Somali Americans who are still active over there. The concern would be if any of them have come back to the United States and would use those abilities here in the United States.
The FBI and the intelligence community are drilling down on the alleged al-Shabaab members and whether they are American citizens. Now, there's also word this morning that former Stony Brook writing instructor and internationally acclaimed poet Kofi Awunar is among the dead. The native of Ghana was in Kenya for an arts and literature conference, and apparently he was visiting the mall with his son. That's the latest from the newsroom this morning. Greg and Rosanna will continue to monitor things from here. Back to you guys.
Teresa, thanks very much. Joining us right now on the phone is Congressman Peter King, Republican of Long Island. You may have seen him yesterday on the Sunday shows. He's on the Homeland Security Committee and chairs the Subcommittee on Counterterrorism. Sir, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Greg. How are you? How are you, Rosanna?
Good. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for being with us on Good Day. Tell us what you know about the situation right now, because we're looking at pictures live, and it looks like there's black smoke coming from that mall.
I basically know the same as you do as far as what's happening right now. Obviously, it appears that something dramatic is happening, whether this is the terrorists making a last stand or whether it's the government moving in for the final kill. I don't know. But I do know that this is really a dramatic development as far as al-Shabaab expanding far beyond its borders. I mean, making such a severe attack into Kenya when many people thought that it was going to be confined mainly just to Somalia. So they're showing they can go beyond their borders, and this is a very, very lethal attack, probably the worst of this type since Mumbai.
So what do you think? What does it mean for us here in New York? Could they do the same thing here?
Well, malls are always an area we have to be concerned about. As far as al-Shabaab itself, the al-Shabaab supporters in this country are mainly in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area, and that's what makes al-Shabaab different from other al-Qaeda affiliates, in that they have actively recruited Americans to go overseas to train. When I was chairman of the Homeland Security Committee and we had hearings on domestic radicalization of Islamic groups, we had about 40 to 50 young men from the Minneapolis-St. Paul area went to Somalia to be trained. Some actually, we had testimony, went to the mosques to go over there. And so the issue is, are they just going to be fighting in Somalia or in Africa, or are they going to come back to the U.S.? So right now, I can assure you the FBI is looking very, very carefully into Somali American areas, particularly Minneapolis-St. Paul, to see what contacts they've had with any of those young men who went over to Somalia to be trained.
Congressman, do you know anything about, them having suspicious passports on them?
No, I've heard those stories. I know that we're very concerned.
I want to know what his relationship is with the writer
about these Somali Americans, how, because they are citizens, the ones who went over are American citizens. So the fact is, could they come back in, to our country? Could they sneak back in? Could they also have Somali passports? So, could they be using aliases? I mean, all those things we have to be concerned about. And so that's why I know, I'm positive the FBI is right now looking very, very carefully into Somali American communities to see if there's been any link, any phone calls, any contact at all between those who are in Somalia right now, who have been trained in Somalia, and any of their friends, neighbors, or relatives back here in the United States.
We're looking at footage taken from inside the mall, we believe, over the weekend during this siege. All right, Congressman King, thank you very much. By the way, a couple of weeks ago, a report emerged that you were, in fact, running or soon to be running for President of the United States. We haven't talked to you since. What's going on?
No, actually, my name has been mentioned. I've been up in New Hampshire a few times. I've been invited by local Republican clubs up there to speak. So I'm going to see what happens. I will go out right now. It's a decision I would make for another year and a half if I make it at all. But, it's flattering to hear people talk about it.
All right. Not ruling it out.
No, not at all, no.
Very good. Congressman King, thank you.
Great, thank you.
All right. Have you heard this?